Clean Water Council page on the website that we can kind of keep looking at to get updates, or is there another mechanism where we can kind of stay informed, or are you going to continue having meetings like this? I'm just kind of wondering how we keep informed on changes and updates as this moves forward.
Well, I know that the Clean Water Council has a space on the PCA's webpage, and the Start Outdoor Heritage Council has their own web page now established. Derby, do you know that off the top of your head? I know it's LOHC something, but you probably don't know it either. But we'll get that to you as a follow-up. Because we're gonna put this material together, and we will include in the summaries of this, you know, a way for you all to access that. But so our website, PCA's website, has the Clean Water Council, and the Outdoor Heritage Council has its own website, and we'll get you that information. They will post everything that they do, all their meeting minutes, all their decisions, all their proposals will be on those websites. And as you're, you know, we thank you for coming to this session today. Obviously, this is helpful feedback for us, and hopefully helpful for you to get some sense of what we know and what we don't know. We will be back out, some collection of us, once decisions are made, you know, later in the spring, and let you know kind of how we expect this to roll forward. So thank you for reminding us that constant communication is often the most important thing we do in getting results. So
I ran out of the room a few minutes ago to get a list of the Clean Water Council members and who they represented. So one of the tie-ins is we've got for representatives. Del Haig represents cities. He's from the Buffalo-Annandale area, I believe, which had a keen interest in this, obviously. Pam Blixt is representing the watershed districts around the state. Marilyn Bernardson of Redwood SWCD is representing soil and water conservation districts. I should mention Pam Blixt with Minnehaha Creek Watershed District. Earl Bukowski is representing rural counties, and the metro area counties are being represented by Victoria Reinhardt of the Ramsey County Board. These people are all pretty high on the learning curve now after having been there close to 2 years. Victoria Reinhardt just got on the council a couple months ago, but she already started high on the learning curve. And that's a great avenue to get your 2 cents in. Also the League of Minnesota Cities for you, obviously.
Comment just carrying on with the funding aspect. I'd encourage you to look at life cycle costs when you do a project review, and you carry that through the total funding of the project through its whole useful life.
okay, well maybe we'll. Oh, we got one more question, or no? Okay. We'll have many more questions, obviously, going forward, but and we'll have a chance here in between now and the noon hour for you to just mill around if you want and ask us questions informally or one-on-one or of each other. I want to thank Mark Donet. Where is he? He's managing the enterprise here. So we want to thank him for having the building available to us, and I want to thank the Association of Watershed Districts for hosting online a seminar for some of those folks who didn't have the ability to get here via person. So again, in summary, we will be preparing a summary of this session as well as the others, sharing that with you, sharing it with the 2 councils and others, and we look forward to hearing more from you with the green sheets. If you take your time to fill those out and send them in now or later, we'd very much appreciate that, to get your individual comments if you didn't have a chance to speak them. And again, we'll be up in the northern part of the state Monday in Grand Rapids and Bemidji, and then Tuesday in St. Cloud. So if you know of any of your peers that want to show up at those, let them know and we'll give you the details. So thank you again for coming this morning.
What you're going to have here is a number of different approaches to dealing with the with identifying projects and getting things done. One is to deal with things on a local basis, small basis, but the other is somehow you've got to look at what are the priorities in an individual basin.
Randy Brush, Minnesota City Stormwater Coalition. It's striking that we're going to be moving into a relatively new world of working a lot of money through grant programs or programs that are similar. So people will be putting in applications for projects, research, education, stuff on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. Traditionally, the way that's worked is the applications have gone to the state agencies, Bowser PCA, for instance, on a lot of this stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but my impression has been that the groups that review and score the applications are comprised almost entirely of agency staff. One of the things that we have in Minnesota is a remarkable level of stakeholder participation across the board at multiple levels. I would urge the agencies to include the stakeholders in the grant review process. So there should be people from cities, watershed districts, soil and water conservation districts, the City Engineers Association, a whole variety of groups participating on those grant review committees in meaningful numbers. I think that would do wonders to help with everyone's confidence and trust in the results. I realize there's inherently some potential conflict of interest problems in there, but we've worked that out in other venues in the past. I'm sure we could apply the same principles this time around as well.
Just, yeah, that Randy raises a point, 2 points, I guess. One is, we want to make sure we have the best expertise making the decisions, from whatever perspective they come from, and also the point about transparency is important as too, that not only do we need to be able to show, all of you and all of your, clientele and partners how this works, but right down to the level of the citizen, they need to understand that this is an open process, that there's a clear sense that science and good public policy is being used to make decisions, and that there isn't some, if they don't know, then they suspect the worst. I think that's just human nature. So we want to make sure that they understand it very clearly how the decisions are being made and what they're being based on.
Got a programming note here.
Mark Zappel, Vermilion River Watershed, Carver's WCD, Area 4 SWCs. So that none of that. I think it is, yeah. Mark Zappel, Vermilion River Watershed, we'll just go with that. I've got a list of 5, I guess I would call them points or principles that I want to throw out there for your consideration. And some of these are redundant to what other people have already said. Any program coming up should support what is identified by local plans and authorities as local priorities. And what Eric was speaking to, I'll hit a little bit later here. It should provide that priorities for funds. The targeting is evaluated in a comprehensive manner, and that gets to the basin as well as statewide or other regional planning. It should incorporate multiple valuing approaches. So it's not just the impaired waters, it's not just TMDLs, but it's what is valued locally, regionally, or statewide. It should integrate approaches addressing water issues so as to meet multiple objectives, and this kind of goes to what you were talking about earlier with coordinating with the Heritage Council, or as Steve was talking about, water flowings. It should require clear accountability. I think that's one of the big expectations of the amendment. We're being given this grand opportunity. We need to be completely accountable, and I think that means separate tracking for amendment dollars down to the project level. So if you're mixing funds, local funds, or other project initiatives, track the money separately, because the more accountable we are, the more credibility we have, the more likely that our programs are going to be looked at positively, and we're going to get more good things. And then the last one is it should use and leverage existing delivery systems, and I think at least Bowser is probably on top of this one as one of their main priorities, since you guys are the pass-through to most local units. We can enhance other funding sources where those are eligible for the same project.